Hey, it's SmallgGay with part 2 of my review of the Star Wars on Blu-Ray. As I was saying, there are mirror images in the trilogies that reflect on each other and comment on each other. The first film is about the Jedi in decline, actually. And one of the reasons why people don't like the prequel trilogy is because the characters are more artificial. This is a reflection of their lack of soul, of the lack of force that's happening. The Jedi have been in control for a long time, and they're losing their power. And in this case, the underdogs are the evil people that are doing whatever they can to try to, break into it and get the power. It's about the rise of Palpatine. But it has a different feel than the Palpatine in the final film. This Palpatine is more tempting. The Jedi world is so dull and plastic, and Palpatine is enticing in his offers to Anakin. It's as if Palpatine and Anakin are free thinkers. Part of the critiques that Anakin finds in the Jedi Order are legitimate, especially at this time in the Jedi Order. And so, in this case, the transgressive element finally conquers, and of course, they're evil. They're evil. And then in the second trilogy, there's a reflection then, and of course then Anakin has his complete descent into evil. But in the second trilogy, the situation is reversed, and evil is in control. And the good people have become alive again because they've had to. The story of the Force, of the religion of Star Wars, develops. When we first see them doing their powers, it's not even something that they even think about. It's not, we don't feel it at all, which a lot of people hated, but the way it's structured, the scenes with Yoda and The Empire Strikes Back have even more power, because we finally feel the Force in ourselves as we're watching the film for the first time. And the instruction of Luke is different than the others. And in the final film, Luke adds an element which shows that he's evolved past the Jedis. The Jedis in the final film urge Luke to kill Darth Vader. Obi-Wan urges Luke to kill Darth Vader. And Luke refuses to, instead turning the other cheek and refusing to dishonor his father and insisting on love as being the answer, which is a truly Christian sentiment. And he has evolved past the Jedi, bringing a new force of good to the galaxy, fulfilling the prophecy that Anakin would be the one who would bring balance to the Force. We don't feel any of this, though, until The Empire Strikes Back, which is amazing. One of the most incredible things about the film is how Lucas was able, and I'm referring it to as a film because, like I said earlier, it's one giant film. It's a 13-hour film. When the way Lucas changes the focus, especially in Empire Strikes Back, and to a lesser degree in Return of the Jedi, the focus is suddenly on Darth Vader, because we know his backstory, and we know, at least we think we do, we can feel how he's reacting, which I think is incredible considering that this film is, 30 years old? And Lucas has added a whole new way to look at the film. When we originally saw it, it was all about the shock again, the plot. It was about the shock of finding out that Luke was Darth Vader's son. But now we know that already, and we're waiting for them to catch up. Now the focus is the discovery that Darth Vader discovers that his son is alive. And everything has a new resonance because of that. And fortunately, the character is mute for the most part. So you can look at the mask and you can imagine what Darth Vader is thinking. I thought that the end of Empire Strikes Back was better than the original. I don't know how much has been changed because I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen every revision that they've done So I don't know. I think that some of it had been done before. I don't think it's all new for this DVD. In fact, I don't think there's much new for this DVD other than Yoda is computer animated in Phantom Menace, and I noticed that the Ewoks blink now. They have eyelids now, which makes them seem a little bit more realistic. But I think that most of these changes had happened already, but they were new to me. I thought the ending seemed tighter. It seemed to move faster. It seemed to be edited better. And the storyline was definitely making references to the original three films. I mean, the prior trilogy, however you want to say it, that I'd never noticed before. And then of course in the final film, that's even more so. And I thought that was really quite something. There are a lot of symbols in the film. The symbol of the circle of the self is a definite motif. It's Jungian. There are a lot of Jungian symbols, and there's a lot of Wagnerian themes, a lot of psychological stuff, a lot of Eastern stuff, as you know. But the whole thing takes on a new resonance. The Death Star, for example, which is a perversion of the circle. The circle is the self. So this is about death. And it's also the ultimate evil, because it's downright satanic, because you're talking about playing God beyond Frankenstein. You're talking about playing God and creating a planet. And the man-made planet will destroy the natural planets. A lot of people originally didn't like the fact that in the final film, Return of the Jedi, they're making another Death Star. People thought that the plot was lazy. That shows how the Emperor and the Empire are losing it. They don't have another. They don't have a Plan B, and they're redoing their past glories of evil. You know, they're at that point. They're at that weak point of power that has grown lazy. The same point that the Jedi had been in the previous series. So you have this symbol of death, destroying living matter, living planets, which is a remarkable concept. But if you watch the films now, the entire story, in a lot of ways, is about the story of the Death Star. You watch how it comes into being in a way that I'd never noticed before. Here's something that I found from one critic, I discovered from one critic. In the scene in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin and Palpatine attend some kind of opera or performance. They're sitting in front of a giant globe with these kind of red electric eels or ribbons flying inside of the globe, like it's like a globe filled with water. The globe is foreshadowing of the Death Star, and the red eels are the trails that the X-Wings will fly in the next film. There's so many surprising details like that. You've got to look for the circles. They're all through the movie. There are references to circles in the film. There are constant references to cycles being complete. Now your training is complete. You know, there's a lot of that, especially in the final film. There's a lot of references to completion. I love the fact that this is a story about redemption. I love the fact that this is a story of the soul conquering a world of man-made evil. I love the fact that this is, in many ways, George Lucas's life story, his own emotional life story. And I like the fact that Lucas did not take the easy way with the prequel trilogy, but instead surprised people, which irritated them at the time, but has brought new life to the previous trilogy. So I really enjoyed it a heck of a lot, obviously. And if you have 13 hours, it's worth watching, and it's worth watching them as fast as you can watch them all together. because the more time spent away from them, the less you're going to notice the parallels, the mirror images, the themes being repeated, which are really quite something. So, a very enthusiastic thumbs up for Star Wars on Blu-ray. Supposedly, as I said in the last vlog, we're going to be getting a snowstorm, but my nieces and nephews, bless their hearts, got me Harry Potter on Blu-ray. So I'll be reviewing the entire Harry Potter series as well sometime in the months to come. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you all had great holidays, and I will talk to you all soon.